with whatever materials to gather. So I suggested that maybe what we can do now is to gather from different organizations, or get data, and then do some materials, and do contacts. That's about what I can think of at the moment.
And do you remember some of the organizations you met in China? Well, of course, we should find out that from Presenza itself, but if you could briefly comment, because we want China to have a presence, of course, in the forum.
Yeah, it was a big thing. We got invited in China. Presenza was one of the, along with CGTN and a lot of news organizations. And well, Karina would, or Pia would have all of that data.
All the details.
Yeah. With Pia.
Okay, Lakshman, you can share some ideas and plans.
Yeah, I am already told you that we want some team members with us, dependable team members, because otherwise we cannot move ahead. So last meeting around 20-25 members participated, but now from India only 4 or 5 members are participating today's meeting. So I think we want to identify who are the volunteer of this WHF. So we want to identify them. And second thing, we want to invite other members. Other members means not humanist members, other public organizations, and we want to discuss the idea of WHF directly and invite them to be part of this our organization. And that is the first thing we want to do. And second thing, we can in the name of WHF, we can do so many activities, platform, that means online discussions with so many issues, regional ways also, because in Kerala there is a big issue of railway related issue. So we are planning a discussion. I think we can do it under the banner of WHF itself. I am talking with other members this week or next week. We will do that. So little by little, we can expand our membership and our activities. Surely, we want to concentrate in our activities. In action part, if we are missing, then people will not believe in this platform.
Yeah,
then
only
so
that is why we are already starting the action, and we are requesting everybody to share the possibilities of actions that they can do.
Yeah, next meeting onward, we can invite some other public personalities also, Gandhian or so many ecological movements. We can invite them also. That is my.
So I will organize one seminar on relaxation. That is conducting relaxation for people who are interested and explaining its benefits, use, etc. This relaxation is from one of our books, Self Knowledge. And also I will prepare and do a presentation on guided experiences and how they can help personal transformation of the person who practices the guided experiences. These are two things I am planning. And there is in the back of mind a thing to work on is the rise of a spiritual politician for future. I'll work on that and share with you all soon. And these are things that I will do within next 2 months, between February and March. Yogender, you would like to share some plans or ideas?
Yeah, I've joined after a gap. I could not attend few meetings in the past. But anyway, today, first of all, I pay homage to Mahatma Gandhi, because today is his Martyrs' Day. And in his the Gandhian in the morning, and the public at large, they had a march in the morning, the peace march, and paid homage to Mahatma Gandhi, because what we believe and we understand that he was the man who lived non-violence, and that makes the basis of our actions in humanist movement also. Secondly, as far as humanist World Forum, Asia Forum of is concerned, I have contacted few organizations, these Gandhian organizations. I have introduced them that we have a platform at Asia level, as well as World Humanist Forum at global level. So I have introduced them, but formally I could not connect them, because since October we have been interacting with them for the World March, basically. And we also started the activities related to the third World March, which will be in 2024. And we will be doing a bigger activity in October 2022. In connection with that, some more organizations I contacted. One is related to the environment also. But you see, everybody takes time. Like the members who have been from the humanist movement or the organisms of the humanist movement, basically they are well knit and already included. Even if you don't say them formally, they are all a part of the World Humanist Forum. But to invite the other organizations, it takes time in their understanding. Once their understanding is clear, they start participating in this. And slowly, slowly, I think we will grow. But what I am expecting that this October 2022 will make us to grow our activities bigger at the World Humanist Forum platform. And maybe what Antonio is expecting, that October onward, we may, from Asia, we may go to the World Humanist Forum Global. That is what my expectation. But frankly speaking, because of my own slow activities, I could not motivate more people to be in the World Humanist Forum. But I am sure the October, the Gandhi's birthday again will bring us back, energize us back.
Yeah.
And this year we will do more activities.
Yeah, it's very nice what you say, because I think, Yogenda, is at this stage, we don't need to advance activities with when we contact the people, but tell them that we have this plan, invite them to be part of it, and telling them that we are working in that direction and that we have the platform and that we have publications and actions and lots of things that will be happening and will nourish all of us. We'll find out about that. And also that in principle, they commit the participation or the organization they work with in the forum. So we can estimate more or less logistics that we will require, I mean, to organize all these big numbers of people. That is exactly what we want. Why do we say organizations? Because organizations are supposed to be an important human base. That means you are an organization because you have members. Some participate more, some participate less, some organizations are loose, some organizations are tied. Whatever, it's easier then to communicate a message of humanity to more people, because we assume that if we coordinate with those who are involved in organizations, they can disseminate later on the experience of works and materials within the members. And therefore we are touching numbers more important. And the more we are with a similar objective, the more powerful our influence and the greater the possibilities to change the events of our times that require quick intervention because people are very confused, are very disconcerted, are very depressed, are unhappy. We see more and more violence. The media that were references in the past, they are no reference because they are all lying and distorting news. So it's a sea of confusion, and the technology, the modern technology, of course, has changed the conditions of work. And now we are exposed to masses of information that we don't know how to digest. And therefore, that's why people are so confused. And it's important, we want the forum to be a beacon that integrates all the different currents, all the different viewpoints, and all the different perspectives, and saying the direction is there. Don't get confused. Don't hesitate. And the fundamental principles of humanity are this, and that. Treat others as you like to be treated. For example, no violence in the relationships under any guise, under any justification. That's it, a violence. And things like that. And also understanding that the root of violence is also within our own consciousness. So without even knowing or being aware, we are nurturing and we are fueling violence in society. We don't know how to stop it, because we need, at the same time that we act non-violently in the environment, we have to try to understand and eliminate the sources of violence in our own consciousness. That is in our memory, because of mishaps in our biographies, because of the way that we grew up, because lots of factors, but it lives there. And because it lives there, when we are in a crossroads and we have to decide something, the response that surges, emerges automatically in our consciousness is a violent response without even noticing. Yeah, we have to punish this and that. No, we have to do this. It's always with an element of aggression when we are put in a situation of having to decide something. And so it's important that we are all aware that that's happening. And the big majority of the humankind is oblivious about it. They don't understand it. Because it seems that violence is external, but they cannot see the connection with themselves. So we have to be active participants if we want a different type of world. And we want to launch that message, and we have to give experience or models of what we are saying, so each one can experiment and register that within themselves. At that point, life starts to change. And so it's beautiful, it's quite exciting, and it can touch and have meaning for every one of us.
Thank you, Antonio. Thank you, everyone. So now, Deepak bhai, if you are ready, we can have your presentation. I will
Sure.
share the screen, and when you want to change the slide, please tell me. Say next,
sure.
and I will change.
Mm.
I think it will take about 10 minutes or so.
I will speed up the way you tell me, no problem. So others,
Yeah, I think 10 minutes should be fine,
fine, no problem.
approximately. Okay.
Yeah. So very simply, my presentation talks about world without wars and violence. Are you able to listen me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So after a lot of study, survey, and analysis with so many organizations world over, we prepared 3 small volumes. One is the people, the leaders who are trying to bring peace on this planet, their reference book, so that people can contact them, and we can bring them all together on one platform. Another one is about the books written on this, how we can bring harmony, peace, and how we can uplift the global community. That is another reference book. Third book is about all the websites working on this activity world over, and how we can bring them together under one umbrella or one platform. This is the basic task that we did for 10 years, and we analyzed different burning issues world over. There is war, there is terrorism, there is starvation, and global warming or the environment issues. And after a detailed study, we found out some basic things, that what human being needs is 5 basic things: is food, shelter, clothing, health, and education, that everybody knows. And we worked out a system how we can solve all of these problems at a stroke through the political system, which is not uplifted since long. Democracy is there, but it is a baby democracy. We have very rarely real democracy somewhere in Scandinavia. Though India is the biggest democracy on this planet, it is ranking 89th. Fine, whatever it is, we don't mind. But let us upgrade the system like technology. We need to improve the political system and bring the solution, harmony, and end to the war. Let's try to understand through few slides. The time is very limited. I will speed up. Next, Sudhir bhai. Yeah. So the basic thing is global issues. That is what I told you about it in nutshell. Then second is human needs. How we can solve it through global democracy. What do we mean by borderless world, and how we can go for a world parliament. Next, Sudhir bhai. Yes, the same thing we can see in the agenda of United Nations also. That what are the burning issues that we can see in the slides here, slide here, and United Nations is talking about sustainable development goals and climate change. Whatever, from any angle we see, the issues are common. Whether we see it as a humanist movement, whether we see it as a Madhyastha Darshan, or we see it as a World Parliament angle of Glenn T. Martin, or we think it from the viewpoint of Noah Harari Yuval in 21 Lessons for the 21st Century, or anything that is what Nobel Prize winners, Nobel Peace Prize winners are talking about it, what the big economists like Amartya Sen, Dr. Jagdish Bhagwati, Dr. Sir Harold Kroto is a scientist and talking about this solution. And they are focusing on all such 10-15 issues that what United Nations has worked out. I'm not going much into this detail of all these 15 issues. We'll switch over to the next slide. So, first of all, majority problems or the challenges are coming out from the basic human needs. Even if you see the migration, illegal migration, refugee colonies, all these things are taking place because they are not able to fulfill their basic human need, that is food, shelter, clothing, education, health, that we know it very well. So these 5 basic challenges that human being is facing, so human being is shunting here and there from country to country, from continent to continent, and it is creating local economic chaos in a developing or a poor nation, and it is creating a problem in developed nation also. So how we can solve this problem? How we can stop this undue migration and visa system so people are equally paid world over? We'll go to in the specific topic when we go to the next slide. Food. See, when we think of economic standard of living, more than 40% of the global community is living only on $1 or $2 a day. And hardly 2% of the global community is possessing more than 80% of the global resources. What a huge gap. Not only this, but with the development of technology, robotics, IoT, and artificial intelligence, we are going to face much worst employment challenge world over in the developed nations also, and in developing nations also, and in poor nations also. And poor nations are becoming more and more victim because there is not a proper leadership, because there is not a refined system of politics, because there is not a well established training system and expectation from the politician, what we should expect from them and how they can offer their services as a leader. Nowadays, the politicians are just becoming the white collar bosses. So this, how we can solve, we'll talk afterwards. So second one is shelter. A lot of millions, I have given the figure here, 1.6 billion people are living almost in slums. For the last many decades, rather say centuries. So what is the role government is playing? There is no role that government has played. The governments are failing. That's why these starving people are not coming up. The basic job of government is to provide all these basic necessities through system and proper distribution of the resources. That is not taking place because of the capitalistic hold on the system and the political system. We are supposed to remove this lacuna in the political system so that people can have right from the birth their basic minimum need of shelter or housing. We can take an example of China. China has excessive housing now because they have developed it so fast. So it is very, very difficult to see or find that people are homeless even in the big cities. No doubt there is a partial success, but on the ground of such developments, we can see in different advanced countries that you won't find any slums because there the government is doing much better services toward the society. That is not happening in the backward countries because of the system failure. So this shelter problem too will be solved by the global governance and the uplifted political system. We'll go into it afterwards. We are just touching the subject only. Next, Sudhir, clothing. See, almost 40% again of the global community is not possessing two good pair of clothes. That is the bare minimum need. I have seen people dying without clothes during the winter, and I don't think people don't deserve a single pair of clothes even. Though I'm not poor, but I am using one simple ordinary winter cloth that I bought for $1 only, which was a second-hand coat brought from Russia and was being sold in a lorry in Rajkot. And even after 25 years, I am successfully using in my home. So clothing is available in ample. If you visit big malls in the big cities and big countries, a lot of cloth is lying idle, unused, only because the resource redistribution is not taking properly. But now because of the 3D printing and 4D printing technology, people will be in a position to get very cheap and very good cloth from any corner on this planet. And it will be tailor-made, stitched by machinery and artificial intelligence only. And that is possible only when the system, the governance, the political system starts working into this direction successfully. And I am sure you will not find any human being without a good pair of clothes anytime. This is the job of government to be executed. Next, Sudhir bhai. Education. See, this is a beautiful example that when the students go to the system of education, they come out as an S with a degree or with a tag, and you will be surprised to know that there are many doctors. They did their MBBS from some odd countries. I will not give the names of those countries where the business is of sharing the degree only. And those MBBS doctors are running rickshaws. Sudhir bhai knows it very well in Delhi also, and they are jobless. They are just getting the degree from a university which is of no use to them. And I see many PhD doctorates. They are working for 10,000. 10,000 means hardly $200 a month. What an insult of the education. The education system of today, almost everywhere, is not really life and job and career oriented. It is only a business to sell the degree and bring the a huge amount of fees in the colleges or the universities, and they are just refining the children into a very nicely designed tag of a degree, and they feel that they are cheated, and because of that only millions and millions of youth are roaming here and they are jobless. Same way we have experienced recently only during these 2 years of health. How all the health systems are failing world over because of the vested interests of the pharma lobby or medical lobby or whatever it is. We will not go into that negative side. But when there is no cutthroat competition of making money by human being, it can be provided by the government as a fundamental need, and this will be very nicely solved. So we'll go to the solution topic, that is global democracy. Once we have a global democracy, we will not have borders, we will not have defense, and we will be in a position with the help of technology to select and elect a candidate online throughout the world, and we will be able to depute a global leader in the world parliament very successfully only because of technology, and there will be no dummy voting taking place anywhere on this planet, and we will be able to select a trained candidate to serve the global community, not to rule the global community. Next, Sudhir bhai. I'll have to speed up a little. So, borderless world will, we can see here, we are fragmented into 225. I would say it is a kingdom in the name of democracy. We experienced in Washington only what happened when Trump failed and how they tried to capture the Capitol Hill and White House. This is the end of democracy in USA, I would say, because of the capitalistic mindset. But once we have a refined systematic political system and democracy on this planet, the world will be really, really seen like the way we are able to see it from the space. Here we have given symbolically only. Yeah, next please. Yes, the benefits, how will be benefited? The diversion of defense budget towards the productive activity will provide us more than enough funding to solve all these 5 basic needs to the global community compulsorily as a basic human need through governance and the government system. So it will end poverty, it will provide more better systematic controlled migration, and minimum people will migrate because they will be having almost equal package or offer or salary depending upon their qualification world over, because it will have a global minimum wage system, and there will be a better education through highly designed, much better education system through all these extraordinary universities, and that will be implemented through internet technology, webinar, and video conferencing. So any person, even in the remotest area of Africa, will be able to study in Harvard. They have already started these courses to offer certificate courses. All these big universities have already started offering only certificate courses. This will get converted into real education online also, because of no defense and no wars and no mass destruction, because it is only the power grid and the race to become superpower, the superpower so-called, whoever it may be, are trying to create this exploitation, this war, and they are using this war machine, and they are trading in war machines, and they are victimizing the small countries, whatever is going on nowadays in between Russia and whatever it is. This is going to stop. We will not be facing the leaders like North Korea or whatever it is. I would not go into anybody's name, but this will stop, because it will not be possible to rule any region without getting qualified and proven leader. Nobody will be in a position to come in power and rule any area, any region, or any state. So it will bring an end to such hopeless management. The same thing, Millennium Development Goals, will not go into it, but the same thing is replicated here, so we can save time. Next, Sudhir bhai. See, diversion of defense budget will bring an end to such disastrous happening. What happened during First World War? What happened during Second World War? What happened during Nagasaki and Hiroshima? We have so many atom bombs nowadays that we can destroy this earth for 400 times. This race will come to an end, and we will have 13.6. It's a rough estimate. It can be 15 even. It can be 17 even. It can be 10 trillion even. Such a big, huge budget of 15 trillion US dollars. We will be having surplus from the borders of the national defense system. And nowadays, we are majority, I mean, say rather more than 40% global communities earning only $1 a day. It is $5 a day that we will be saving per person per day only from defense budget. So out of 5, at least 3 to 3.5 dollars per day per person will be added into the portfolio of every individual indirectly through the resources provided by the government in the form of food, shelter, clothing, health, and free education. And this will give 11 times more better life to each and every citizen of this global society. So this is only a presentation in nutshell. How we can achieve it, we will discuss whenever I get time, how we can implement parallel government very successfully by introducing a world parliament, which is what even United Nations wants to establish. United Nations has said that we want to go for first policy making world parliament in 2030. And we are all dreaming and trying and pressurizing the United Nations that forget all the nations and form a world parliament and go for a parallel government and request global citizens to vote them and bring an end to the war and defense system from this global community, and let us make all these 200 and odd countries a confederation of states, so they will have their own existence with their culture, language, system of living, everything, and they will have their own management locally, as if we have the management of the states and there is a central government. There will be no in-between agencies at all, no state, no district, nothing, only local government and global government. This is a small design of the system, how it will be managed and introduced to the system. Dr. Glenn T. Martin has prepared a very nice documentation on this, and I have all the proof with me right now, with me here. This is the book, latest edition that I think I don't it or not. Mm, uh, can you see, Sudhir, the book that I'm showing? No.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay,
You
okay.
can see.
Yeah. So I have so many books here, so many reference books they have prepared, and I have already parted with Sudhir Bhai so that we can approach all of those people. And Stilo is one of the heroes who has given us the guidance and the direction to create the humanized earth. And that is the dream of all such organizations working globally under different banners and under different names. No doubt the names are different, but the target, the goal is same, to uplift the global community totally and bring an end to the war. So this is possible by cumulative efforts. I have given here the references of so many such books that I have collected: the Constitution, the World Parliament, One World Renaissance, and many other books that you will see here, Global Democracy, that I have got from Sweden, this Harari's book, and he has dedicated one full chapter on this. The third one, A Global Parliament, Essays and Analysis by Dr. Richard Falk and Andrew Strauss. And these are all people who are dedicating their life. We are inviting, and we will invite them all to raise this issue globally and convince the masses through trainings. Thank you all. This is all right now because time is limited. Thank you all.
Thank you. Very interesting.
Thank you. Very interesting, Deepak ji.
Thank
Deepak,
you.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Deepak bhai, what I will suggest is that you design an event, a detailed event on this issue.
Yeah.
And let us plan that event. We can work out a suitable date and the plan. We give it, let's say, 2 or 3 weeks in between for the publicity, invitation, and all that. And from there, we take it forward. And
Sure.
all those who want to coordinate with you, they are welcome, and they can work with you and coordinate the whole activity.
Thank you so much.
And
If anybody has any question, they can ask me if at all
outside,
time permits.
Sudhir,
yes.
hello.
Yes, yes, go ahead. Yogendra.
Deepak bhai, thank you for a very nice and detailed presentation.
Thank you so much.
Detailed presentation in brief. And
Thank
I
you.
think there are two things very synonymous. Like when you say the World Parliament, so it can be the Humanist Parliament also.
Yes, yes, by all means.
You were touching it.
So what I would like to say is that this presentation by Deepak Bhai is an example.
Human being as the central value is the theme of has been the theme of the humanist movement. And I think that comes into action. So that almost all these problems. Second, the universal human nation, what we aspire for, what Silo spoke a long back, that ultimately, rather than having a world without boundaries, have a universal human nation. So it's my suggestion that if these two two nomenclatures like borderless countries. Instead of that, we can have universal human nation.
Anything.
And
Yeah.
secondly, instead of having a world parliament, we can have a humanist parliament.
Sure, anything. Name is not very
These
important.
are my
Yeah.
suggestions.
Yeah.
It's the final goal, no? What
Yeah.
imports. And also cannot be achieved overnight, so people don't
The universal
feel a
human nation.
compulsion, but the direction is right. no?
You need at least 1 week to achieve it, not overnight.
At that
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
we may
It
not
requires
need
a lot of
leaders
time, maybe
anymore.
2 decades or a decade at least. But because of technology, it will become much smoother and easier.
Yes, of course.
See, wherever we go and arrange a lecture, the acceptance ratio is more than 90%, always, everywhere.
You are,
In all
if you
colleges,
are
all
able
universities,
to
everywhere.
get farmers and students on the road, you can have it achieved in less than 1 year.
Yeah, let's hope so.
And
You
also
just have to throw
leadership, I mean, in the moment
garbage
that
in
we
the
take
garbage bin.
responsibility over our lives and our immediate societies, we may not need leaders to dictate anything from any central place. I mean, because it will be so many mechanisms of coordination, but we will not get it wrong because we will be reading from the same sort of page. Of course, some
Yes.
sort of mechanism of coordination we need, but yes, enhanced freedom is such an important thing for humankind.
All
Because
leaders can be sent to an asylum and they can lead themselves.
And the best thing is that because of technology, it will be a participative governance,
that's
not the
right.
one-man government. It will be
Exactly.
participative government of all,
Yeah.
each and every global citizen, whosoever wants to participate.
Yes.
So friends, let's have more such presentations in the next meetings on all of us and more people. And let's invite other people whom we know within the movement, outside the movement, who are
Yeah.
passionate on any issue that concerns non-violence and no discrimination. And we take it forward. And the forum is of those who want to take the world head on and in a head on with love and transform it.
Sudhirji, I think World
So we
Humanist
are at
Forum
the end of the
and
meeting.
Sudhirji, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Now central budget is coming next month. So I think we can conduct a webinar with Deepakji's organization and this WHF, cut short or reduction for the defense budget. And in this pandemic period, this is very essential, I think. So we can conduct a discussion. We can invite people. With Deepakji's presentation is very good. And
Why not, Lakshman, you and Deepak bhai coordinate and work it out, and we do it next week because the budgets are very close. And not his presentation, but a new idea of remove a demand for reduction of defense budget, a demand for removal of nuclear arms, and a demand for creating friendship with the neighboring countries.
yeah, surely. I think it is
You
very
remember
good.
what our friend Gandhian said, that there should be a ministry of peace. So we can demand a ministry of peace.
Yes.
So maybe you and
Okay.
Deepak can work on it, and next week let's have it going.
Surely.
Okay.
And feeding the children that we saw starving in so many pictures, no?
Yeah.
That must be the priority, I think.
Exactly.
Well, very interesting, very nice, and let's have more of this, I suppose. What is next, Sudhir?
We are at the closing, so let us do a quick asking, and that our plans be successful, that we take the forum forward in a systematic way, and we get the energy and the guidance for doing that. So I will conduct this.
Yep.
Let us sit comfortably with our eyes closed and keep one hand on our heart. Breathe in a mouthful of air and imagine that you carry this air to your heart. Breathe in a mouthful of air and imagine that you carry this air to your heart. Then with all your strength and your faith, ask for yourself and your dearest loved ones. Ask with strength to move away from let us ask for inspiration, guidance, and the way forward to take our plans for World Humanist Forum Asia to all the countries of Asia as soon as possible. When you have finished, you can gently open your eyes and join us back in this time and space. Thank you, friends. That brings us to the end of this meeting. So we can
Thank you,
stop the
Sudhir.
recording.
Very nice meeting
And we
you
will
all.
meet next week,
Great.
same time,
Yes, nice meeting. All of
and same link. Peace, force, and joy to all of you. Thank
For
you
you
very
too,
much.
peace,
Peace,
Thank you.
force, and joy.